Matt, I think you frequently said in your career that you usually like to judge a team's improvement and can be very significant between game one and game two. But in game two, you had the big fella back in the middle. You were much better tonight. How, from your perspective, just in all facets, how much did he contribute to the total package?
Well, I think obviously he helped us at the rim, blocking 7 shots and Alter and probably a handful of others. And I think that's where his impact really helps us. And then he can score with his back to the basket. And so if they're going to switch things or pressure us or stretch the defense out in any capacity, and when you throw the basketball in there, they're too far away from him to double, and then it's a long run for him, whether they come ball side, they come weak side, or which they do a lot, they double with their low man. So we just tried to stay as high as we could in motion and get him the basketball. He obviously had 3 or 4 opportunities where he still should have scored the basketball for us, but I thought he was ready to play at the start of the game. I didn't think he was ready when he subbed in at the end of the first half. Then I didn't think he was ready to start the second half, but then when he subbed back in, he did a better job. So just got to get him ready each time when he subs in and try to keep him fresh and try to keep Jay Simpson fresh.
Matt, they started out with a 17-12 lead, and then you outscored them 42-15 the rest of the first half. What changed between those two segments of the first half?
I think they did a good job of bringing A.J. out, and they knocked down a couple jump shots, then they drove the basketball, and then just made a couple tough plays, I thought. But I thought if we could stay into the basketball on ball screens and try to keep the ball out of the middle of the court, we would be okay. And but they did a good job of trying to attack him from the high post and drive the basketball. And like I said, they knocked down a couple 15-footers. We really wanted to, to stay in to Vanalis and make it hard for him, and we were able to do that.
With AJ, you talk about how well he played there at the start, and then other times where maybe he wasn't ready to come back in. And with him, is that a frustrating scenario? Is it still something you look at and you think of that you're excited about just because of the promise that is there? If he ever fully comes around, is it both? Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. You want more consistency. What I like about with all of our spots is, you have somewhere else to go. So if he doesn't play well, I think Jay Simpson has proven that he can help us with his ability to score. You saw tonight that they doubled him a lot, and you saw his ability to pass the basketball. And but both those guys got a long way to go in their ball screen defense. We got to do a better job in our ball screen defense. And tonight we did a better job on the glass in the second half, but we still don't have it where guys are dominating the glass the way they should be.
Coach, I'm not sure if you heard the news out of Minnesota tonight, but Robbie Hummel got his first NBA start with Kevin Martin. Could you talk a little bit about the significance of that for his career?
Well, I think it's great to see one of our guys get an opportunity. He's worked very hard. He's dealt with adversity. I always say this to our players. Basketball's a thinking man's game. And Rob Hummel makes other people better on the court just because he's a selfless guy and he just knows how to play the right way. And, he was great for us in so many areas. So it's good for him to, to be able to stick with it and get this opportunity and hopefully, continue to get better. And you're only going to get.
He sat for 3 nights and came out and just seemed to just provide a burst of energy, not only for yourself, but to everybody around you in the early going. How ready were you to play, and could you sense that the guys were feeding off you, especially once you started taking the lead?
I just been really preparing just to play since just coming off of the suspension, really. But just pretty much just being prepared at the beginning and warm-ups, just getting some shots up with Coach Brindley, and then them feeding off me pretty much the block shots, just trying to get my team hyper ready since I owe it to them since everything happened.
AJ, the 7 blocks, I think, is a career high for you. Most of us don't get to know what it's like to be 7 feet tall out there playing basketball. But, how much of that is something that you really enjoy about this game, playing defense and blocking shots?
Oh, I love playing defense. Blocking shots is my thing. I just like doing it in practice because people always talking stuff. So, swat their stuff back in their face is a great thing.
For whoever wants to take this other than AJ, how was his impact felt around the rim, especially in the first half?
I'll take it, I guess. I think, it was really felt. The first couple of plays was kind of a little bit like last game. Guys got kind of biased. We couldn't really, ride them with our hands. Sending them into AJ was a big thing today. They was going there if they were out of control. He was playing straight up. He wasn't reaching, and he was getting us a lot of blocks, which sent the ball the other way. So I just think having him in there was just a huge presence for us, and it was felt.
AJ, you obviously had a solid game tonight, but with you being your first game back, what do you think you need to improve on as the season progresses?
Pretty much my defense on the ball, really, because my man was kind of taking me off the dribble, taking me to the hole, so I need to work on my footwork a little more, and just being down the stance and just being aware of where the ball's at on the court.
Tyrone, the scoring seemed to be pretty evenly distributed tonight. You had 4 guys go over 10 points. Can you just talk about how that seemed to be a little better than opening night?
I feel like opening night we got a lot of guys missing cribs, like around the basket, things like that. But tonight, like you said, it was well-rounded. We got to move the ball. They were the type of team to double the post. We've been working on it all week. So once we got the ball moving, they were in rotations. We were able to get drives and also able to stretch the defense out with some three-pointers. So it was good.